The wind whispers through the trees outside the cabin, rustling leaves like secrets begging to be heard. You shift uncomfortably in the creaking wooden chair, staring into the quiet ember glow of the fireplace. Shadows dance along the walls, distorted shapes twisting and flickering, feigning life where none exists. You should feel safe here. After all, it's just you and the comforting aroma of pine. But there's a lingering chill that wraps itself around your spine, coaxing you into an unease that seems to echo off the cabin walls. You've always found solace in this retreat, an isolated getaway where time and the outside world are rendered irrelevant. But tonight, isolation takes on a different meaning. The tranquility feels heavier, a weight pressing down, as if the very air is pregnant with unspoken history. You can't shake the feeling that you are not as alone as you thought. It's a familiar sensation, something you've brushed aside in the past, but now it clings to you like mist creeping in from the midnight forest. As night seeps deeper, you rise and wander toward the bedroom. The cabin is small, and every room merges into another, each filled with rough-hewn furniture that somehow feels more a part of the woods than you are. You reach for your flashlight, its beam slicing through the darkness, revealing cracks in the walls, silent witnesses to the years gone by. You pause, tilting your head to listen. Through the walls somewhere is a faint thump. You ignore it. Maybe it's just the settling of the old house, a common sound in buildings like this. Stripping down to your essentials, you climb under the scratchy blanket. Your skin prickles, and you pull it tighter around your shoulders, wishing for warmth that doesn't come. Sounds from the forest filter in, a mournful lullaby of rustles, calls, and the occasional snap of a twig inhabited by something unseen. You drift between wakefulness and sleep, thoughts swirling like autumn leaves in the wind until you are held by darkness. A strange noise pulls you back. Your heart clenches as you lie there in the dim light of early morning, the stillness punctured by a muffled thumping sound. It comes again, horror creeping along your skin. It's rhythmic, persistent, almost like a heartbeat, reverberating through the wooden beams. You convince yourself it's just your imagination, pushing against the creeping panic. After all, it is just an old cabin. In the light of day, you find a comfort in the familiarity of the cabin. The thumping fades into the background, just another layer of the tapestry of sounds that make this place feel alive. You decide to explore more of your surroundings. Outside, beneath the tall pines, you discover an overgrown path that looks like it hasn't been traveled in years. With curiosity, perhaps even a touch of recklessness, you venture forth. The forest feels thick with secrets, each step leading you deeper into a world untouched by civilization, yet you can feel the presence of its shadows. The path meanders, twisting and turning through thick brush and tangled roots until you stumble upon a small clearing. In the center, there's an old, rotting well, its edges crumbling, dark shadows haunting the depths below. A shiver traces your spine. There's something inherently unsettling about it, something ancient and unyielding. It seems to call to you, almost beckoning, but you turn away, the thumping sound echoing again in your mind as if urging you to leave. You return to the cabin, the woods now feeling more alive with every rustle, the wind carrying whispers of trees jostling against each other. You shake off the sensation of being watched, but a quiet fear threads through your thoughts. You convince yourself you are just tired and perhaps a little paranoid. As evening arrives, you sit by the fire, vibrant flames dancing and crackling, but the thumping noise emerges once more, louder, vibrating through the floorboards beneath you. This time, you notice how it syncs with the shadows, pulsing in time with the flickering light. Every few minutes, it blares from beneath, as if something down there lives and breathes. A chill runs down your arms, and you can no longer shrug it off as your imagination. Voices of doubt whisper at the edges of your rational mind, urging you to investigate, to know the source, and yet a deeper instinct warns against it. Still, as night deepens, the noise crescendos into an unbearable thrum, vibrating through your very bones. You slide from your chair, heart racing, and grab the flashlight. You approach the basement door, heavy and weathered, its wood scarred and splintered, holding tight the secrets of the cabin. Should you? You hesitate, caught between the familiar embrace of ignorance and the deep, hungry yearning for truth. With a deep breath, you turn the knob. It creaks ominously, echoing your hesitance. Downstairs is enveloped in darkness, a muted whisper pressing against your ears, as if the space beneath holds its breath in anticipation. Your flashlight flickers as you descend the creaky steps, each groan of the wood echoing the thumping sound that grows louder the further down you go. The cold air greets you with a numbing bite, filled with the scent of damp earth and decay. The darkness thickens, and you squint, trying to pierce the depths. You can't see much, just shapes and shadows. Your heart pounds in rhythm with the thumping from the wall beyond. It's steady, relentless, sending tremors through your pulse. You follow the sound until you find it, that old wooden door, gnarly and partially open, a sliver of darkness peeking between the frame. Your hand shakes as you reach for it, the thumping intensifying, echoing a panicked cadence. You push it open, and your flashlight beam reveals a narrow space, a short hallway leading to another room, the air more oppressive here. You step inside. The room is small, and the walls pulse with the rhythm of the thumping, creating an overwhelming atmosphere filled with dread. Cobwebs cling to the ceiling and dust swirls beneath your feet. You blink in disbelief at what lies before you. Old furniture draped in dusty sheets, artifacts of a bygone era, forgotten amidst the layers of neglect. But something isn't right. Something shifts here, almost indecipherably, a grudging pulse that variants through the quiet hum of the room. That's when you notice it, a crude drawing scrawled on the far wall, smeared with what looks like dirt or ash. Shapes of twisted figures, huddled forms, mouths agape in silent screams as if trapped in a moment of terror. Your throat tightens. You wonder how long they have been there, confined to this space, their unending stories etched into the dim light. You feel the air grow thick, heavy, pressing against you. The thumping is louder now, almost angry, as if the very walls have awoken and are disturbed by your presence. Your breath comes quicker, panic clawing at your chest as you take a step back. The walls seem to close in, shadows stretching, and you catch sight of a mirror hanging at a peculiar angle, cracked like the very foundation of reality it reflects. You look deeper into it. The air stills, and in the reflection, you catch a glimpse of movement. You nearly drop the flashlight, heart lurching. There's another figure standing behind you, a distortion, a flicker of darkness that feels like a secret long buried. You whirl around, and there is nothing but the heavy silence of the room, yet the sensation of being watched prickles at your senses. The thumping comes again, fracturing the silence, and you whirl back to the wall, and in the mirror, the figure lingers, still. It waits. It watches. Your hair stands on end, that feeling of wrongness clawing at you. You know you need to leave, but the air seems to pull you in, wrapping around you like fingers tightening, making it suffocating just to breathe. Suddenly, the vibrations erupt, and the door slams shut behind you with a deafening bang. You jump, shock racing through you. The thumping now reverberates off every surface, like a heartbeat longing to escape. You scrabble for the door, rattling the handle, but it doesn't budge, panic rising as you wrestle against it. Whatever this place has been hiding, it doesn't want you to know. You spin back toward the mirror, your heart pounding in your ears. And there it is again, a shadowy figure emerging from the depths of blackness, a reflection of fear, a visage of something ancient and sorrowful that should not exist in the world you once knew. As panic cascades through you, the reflection of the figure becomes clearer, you twisting and morphing into something more tangible, more alive. You take a stumbling step back, and the figure mimics you, a twisted semblance of movement that speaks of torment and longing. Your hands fly to your mouth as despair crashes over you like a wave. It isn't just a reflection. It reaches beyond the glass, fingers extending toward your own. You scream then, a raw, visceral sound that catches you by surprise, but your voice is swallowed by the echoing thump that crescendos, a desperate drumbeat entwined with panic. Dark shadows erupt from the corners of the room, coiling toward you like serpents. You claw at the door, pounding, shouting, but the presence grows ever closer, the wailing figure now more pronounced as it inches toward you through the glass, mirroring its desperate attempt to escape. With sheer instinct, you lunge for the mirror, desperate to break this bond. And yet, instead of shattering, the surface ripples. It feels almost soft. You press your palms against it, the coldness seeping through, and abruptly, the thumping crescendos, merging with the frantic echoes of your heart. Everything twists into chaos as the figures around you strangle the air, their mouths moving in a continuous chant that fills your head with uncertainty. You wonder then if you've stumbled into a waking nightmare, a trap you cannot escape. With your heart pounding louder than the chorus of darkness, you lose your footing and crash to the floor, shattering the moment. In an instant, the regular world resumes. It's no longer the mirror you see, but the room, the door still shut, the chilling hum fading to silence. And yet, the thumping remains beneath you, the rhythm now transformed into the heavy beating of your heart that echoes back at you. You're somehow still here, searching for a way out, filled with the horrifying knowledge that you've touched something unclean, something that waits for you in the reflection. You scramble to your feet, and the sense of wrongness hangs thick, claws at your thoughts, screaming at you that this is far from over. Fingernails scraping against wood make you hang still, paralyzed by dread. You take a deep breath, willing yourself to cling to sanity. This place isn't bleeding blue skies and sunshine. It's buried in shadows, waiting with dark hopes. You rush back to the door, battling against the remnants of despair. In a frenzy, you slam your shoulder against the door, prompting it to whip open. Moments later, you find yourself sprinting back up the creaky stairs and bursting into the comfort of the light. The fireplace crackles, warm orange flames still dance in the hearth. You stand there, gasping for breath, clinging to the brightness like a lifebuoy tossed into the darkness. But still, the thumping awaits you, lurking beyond the boundaries of the walls. You shake your head, trying to erase the taste of dread tugging at your mind. It's only a fear. What you saw is just a figment conjured in the gloom. You grab the flashlight again and venture to the front porch, hoping fresh air and the serenade of crickets will soothe the anxious churning in your stomach. Stepping outside, the night seems darker, the moon cloaked behind veils of cloud. Unease filters through the woods, whispering memories of your discovery, the thumping, the chaotic entities. You lean against the porch railing, feeling the cool night air wash over your skin. But tonight, the sky feels heavy, and the air thickens. A weight presses into your thoughts. In the silence, you hear it again. The rhythmic thumping, now resonating beyond the walls of the cabin. Drummy, nang through the air, vibrating through the ground beneath your feet. A glimmer of light flickers in the window, dancing wildly, as if intertwining with your senses. And then clarity dawns. You know this noise. It's the sound of something buried deep and well. It conspires from below. It waits with hollow promises, filled with echoes that stretch toward the darkness. You shiver, not from the cold, but the understanding that tonight you are far from alone. You retreat back inside, urgency fueling your movements, determination locking the door behind you. Shadows loom in the corners, and those ancient, mournful figures are close, watching you with eyes not quite of this realm. As the thumping grows louder, it reverberates again, a dark heartbeat that swells in time with your own, a requiem of secrets and terror that pulls you toward the mirror, toward the revelation of what is hidden and what waits just beyond your grasp. You turn to face the shattered reflection, locked in an unsettling waltz of fear and misgiving. Was it always there? Has it always called to you beneath the guise of safety? The cabin shudders again, beneath your feet and deep within, throbbing in sync with the pulse of the darkness that has always wanted to keep you. You know, in that moment of chilling clarity, you can feel its ache, its pull. And as you stare into the reflection, an ambiguous realization solidifies in your mind. This isn't just a cabin. You are a part of its history, bound to its story, whether you choose to embrace it or run from it. The thumping now seems less frightening and more inviting, and you realize you're standing on the threshold of something greater, something that can never truly be understood. With a last glance, you understand the unsettling truth. Some doors you must never open, but the ones you never knew existed may hold the greatest danger of all. You find yourself navigating a path already well trodden, caught in the gravitational pull of eternity as the shadows reach out, beckoning you home.